Hello and welcome back to part 2 of this how to make your own fiberglass products. So picking up from where we left off in part 1, the plug now is completely covered in gel coat. This is completely dry, this is a few days to dry off now. So the next stage for this will be covering it in resin, polyester resin and some matting. So let's take a look at the tools and equipment that we're going to be using. Okay, so the things that we're going to need to be making our mould is basically exactly the same things as what we're going to be needing when we actually make the product. But first off, we've got a roll of some chopped strand matting. This is 300 grams. I've also got a roll of 600 grams as well. I'll be applying the 300 grams first, probably 2 or 3 layers of the 300 grams. I may even then top it off with a layer of 600 gram, just to give it that extra strength so it can be used as a proper mould. I'm going to be using exactly the same chopped strand matting to make the product, but not as many layers. Moving on, we've got the resin, polyester resin. Standard, Lloyd's approved. You can use a general purpose one if you wanted to, it's probably a little bit cheaper. But I always tend to try and stick to the Lloyd's approved stuff. It tends to work a little bit better for me, I don't know why. The kind of tools that we're going to be using, we've got a roller to get out the air bubbles once we've got a couple of layers on, and we've got a brush as well to apply the resin with. We're also going to be using a pot as well to mix it all up. We've got a respirator, because the fumes that come off can be quite potent, so we do need a respirator involved, and we've got a couple of gloves as well to protect our hands. Right, okay, so first off, I'm going to get a little bit of preparation work done before we start mixing everything else. We're going to get this chopped strand matting cut to size, and we'll get our layers ready before we start.
So now we're up to mixing the resin. I always tend to stick between 20 and 25 fluid ounces. It's a good manageable amount. Once you've had your activator, it gives you plenty of working time. Again, make sure that you mix the resin and the activator thoroughly, scraping all the sides, the bottom, everything, just to make sure you get it a thorough mix. Now that I'm happy that the resin is thoroughly mixed, I can start wetting out the product. Direct straight onto the gel coat, and then we can start adding the 300 gram matting, and again going over that and wetting that fiberglass out as well. With this product having so many shapes and handles to it, the actual matting has to be turned in order for it to fit properly. This means that sometimes you can create areas that are quite thinner than others, but it's a simple case of putting extra pieces on just to cover that gap and make sure you've got a consistent thickness all the way around. Normally I would use a paddle roller to get rid of any air bubbles, but I've had to do the majority of it with the brush. But as you can see, I've got a roller that goes right into the corners to get rid of any air bubbles. Now that I've got my 300 gram matting down, I'm now moving on to the 600 gram matting. It's exactly the same process, ripping it where it needs to contour to the shape properly, and again wetting out, making sure that all the fiberglass is covered with the resin. So altogether, this mould has had 2 layers of 300 gram matting, 1 layer of 600 gram matting, and it's used a total of 85 fluid ounces of resin.
Okay, so this has been out in the sun all day. It's fully cured. as you can see, I've got a couple of little spikes and stuff, so I'm not going to run my hand across that, but I'm happy how it's dried. I should probably leave it till tomorrow, but this is probably my favourite part of the process, releasing this and seeing what result we've got underneath. So what I'm going to do, we'll set the camera up, I'm going to release it and see what we've got. Okay, so I've been around the entire edge of this to try and release this resin and gel coat all around the edges. Used hammers, chisels, obviously being careful not to actually damage the product underneath. I have got it lifted in this corner, so I think we're about to get a full release. Do you want to watch that here, Georgia? One. On this side. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Feel it. Some release nice and easy, some a little bit stubborn. This one's one of the stubborn ones. There we go. We're ready? Okay, so the mould is done. We have got our full mould. As you can see, we've got a nice shine to this. I have gone over this a few times with some cutting compound to try and get that shine up. It was shiny anyway when it first came out of the mould, and I've gone over it with some polish as well. Full disclosure, this didn't come out exactly as I wanted it to. I think the reason being was I used probably too much activator in the resin and it made it too hot. It was being in the sun as well, if you noticed, it was outside when I did it. And it kind of got into the paintwork of the actual plug that I was making. But it's taken a few days to clean up, it's not ruined it. It's just a lot of clean up and a lot of polishing. It's not 100%. I would like it to be more perfect than it is. That's just me. I'm quite a perfectionist when it comes to things like this, so I'm going to make a product of this. I'm going to see how it comes out. If there's any detailing than I need to do on that product when it comes out. I'll do it on the product and I will make a fresh mould off that, and then we'll get it absolutely perfect. But for now, I think we will leave that at this video. We've got our mould made. Next stage now is actually making the product. We'll bring that into part 3 and we'll do another video on that. But many thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, likes, comments, the whole shebang. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.